Hello Internet, this is Scott with Scott's Garage, and I am once again privileged to be working on my son's 2005 Ford Focus. Now the presenting problem is this, that he gets an airbag light on intermittently. So it comes on and then the next time he runs the car it's not on. So it's very intermittent. We did check the engine codes and we do have a code, and the code is, alright, there we go. The code is B2232, airbag circuit open loop number 2, front driver's side. So in this episode of Scott's Garage, we are going to diagnose and fix this intermittent airbag light problem. Okay, first of all I want to say that I am not a professional. I'm a backyard mechanic, and if you're watching this video, obviously you have an airbag light coming on. And if you have no experience at all in cars, I would recommend taking it to a professional right away. Airbags you don't want to try to fix something if you don't have any experience. But if you are a do-it-yourselfer mechanic like I am, have some experience, this is what I'm going to do. I've watched YouTube videos probably like you have, and there is an easy fix if it works that I'm going to try, that I feel comfortable with. And you're going to have to determine if you're comfortable with it or not. Again, this is not professional advice at all, but this is something I feel that I can do safely. If it doesn't work, then I will take it to a professional. So one of the causes of the intermittent airbag light coming on is a poor connection underneath where the front airbag is on the driver's side, and where it connects, the electrical connection. So what I'm going to do in this video is just walk you through how to remove the airbag and to use dielectric grease, which doesn't conduct electricity, and that's one of the solutions. You put that dielectric grease in there and it makes a better connection, and then your problem goes away. So the next thing we're going to do is get this steering wheel in position. So you need to turn on your motor and turn it basically just like that, and then turn it off. And the reason for this is that there are 2 bolts that hold the horn on and the airbag, one right here and one right up here, and you're going to need access to them, and that's how you do it. You turn the steering wheel like this, so the steering wheel is not locked in the lock position, and I can get to these. And the next thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery. Removing the battery cables so there's no power at all to the car. It takes power to activate the airbag, so we don't want to take any chances. And we're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes to just if there's any residual power built up in your lines, it'll take care of the problem. Okay, so we let the battery sit for about 12 minutes, and that's just make sure that there's any residual power that's in the line dissipates. And now what we're going to do is remove the 2 bolts, and these little bolts, they stay in place. You can't take them all the way out, but there's one here, and it's a special size. It's 5.5 millimeter. So I just have a 1/8 inch drive here. Okay, so you have to kind of just play with it a little bit until it's firmly on there. You definitely don't want to strip this out. So I'm just loosening it, and you should see the center of the steering wheel start to come loose. Okay, I think that's probably as much as I can get it out. Do the same thing for up here. There it is. Purposely not putting my face in front of this. Okay, so this is the wire connector right here, the yellow in the black. Notice it's on the bottom half here. And so we're going to remove this, and we're going to put the dielectric grease in there. To remove that, you simply pull down on the tab right here and pull out. Right? Okay, this is dielectric grease. It's also called bulb grease. And it basically lubricates electrical connections doesn't conduct electricity at all. And so this is an inexpensive way to get some of this. So I'm just going to rip it open, and I'm going to squeeze some over the connectors right in here. There we go. Go. Okay, the connector only goes on this bottom half there, so I just liberally coated that with the dielectric grease. I also used part of the packaging just to make sure everything was covered and pushed in there. And I didn't touch it with my fingers or anything, just use the package. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put this plug in and go just in and out, and just several times to make sure that the dielectric grease is covering all of the connectors. I'm also going to put some just on this part of it as well. Okay, and the final time you just push it in, it clicks. It's all in place. It's kind of not very much pressure, but just making sure it's seated correctly. All right, now we're going to push this back in place, make sure the holes are lined up, and then we'll put the bolts back in. We'll have to get that cleaned up later. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to tighten the bolts, and I'm just going to hand tighten them to begin with. Top and bottom, make sure they get started correctly. Okay, I'll do the bottom one. Okay, now I'll put the ratchet on. Don't over tighten, but make sure it's tight. Now the top. Okay, we're going to hook the battery back up, and with the positive first, and then the negative, and this is again a 10 millimeter. Make sure it's seated nice and firmly down there. snug, but don't over tighten. All right, we'll start it up and see if the light has gone away. Okay, the airbag light has gone away. And now this was intermittent, so it could come back, but I'll have my son monitor that. But anyway, this is a quick fix. Again, if you have any car experience, you have to determine yourself. If you have no experience, I wouldn't do this. I'm not professional though. But if you're a do-yourselfer and worked on cars, try this first. This is Scott with Scott's Garage. If you got any value at all from this video, please hit like. It costs you nothing, but it's great value to me. And if you're not subscribed to Scott's Garage, please do so. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day.